In this video, we're going to show you how to install the brake flex hose on your Subaru Legacy located behind your front wheels. Using a 19mm thin wall socket, I'm going to go ahead, loosen and remove our lug nuts and our locking key. Go ahead and grab that wheel, remove it, and set it aside. Now before starting this here, we chose to go ahead and spray down our connection area here with some rust penetrant to hopefully loosen up some of the garbage that's on there. We're going to jump right over to here, and we're going to use our 12mm socket to loosen and remove this bolt. We're going to be reusing that bolt, so set that aside and pull that out. So this step here is not necessary for you. However, we like to do this because it'll help keep that fluid from continuously running down while we work on the other end. So this is just a pair of pliers here to crimp that hose. I'm going to go ahead and loosen and remove the caliper side bolt here. That is an 11mm. We have a catch can underneath to catch any fluid that will come out. Now when you remove this, there should be two copper washers, one on the bolt side and one on the caliper side. And there it is right there. I'm going to dispose of that. We're going to keep the bolt and get rid of that other washer. Now at this point here, the next thing we want to do is go ahead and loosen the 10mm nut here. It has the hard line that goes into the flex hose. You're going to go ahead and use your opening wrench. And ideally, you want to go ahead and spray this with some rust penetrant to go ahead and let that soak in. And then loosen that. Now, for any reason, if that doesn't want to loosen, you can go ahead and hold this end of the hose with your pliers and loosen that. Sometimes you can apply a little bit of heat to it. If you're applying heat to it, make sure that this is disconnected. Otherwise, the pressure can build up. This hose can blow off. That's a safety issue. So you want to apply a little bit of heat to this nut section here where it goes into the union right here, and then apply a little bit of pressure to loosen that. Make sure that this nut is spinning freely of the hard line. If it is not, you can risk breaking the hard line and it's going to make a lot more work for you. So you want to make sure that this nut is spinning freely. Now that's going to consistently drip fluid. I'm going to use a pick now, and there's a locking clip right here, a retainer. You want to go ahead and get in there and pull this off. And here's right here, it's like a horseshoe clip. We're going to be reusing that. But at this point, we can go ahead and pull this out of this bracket. Go ahead and take that flex hose. I'm going to feed that through. Feed this into that. And thread this line into that. Go ahead and use your wrench to snug that down gently. Grab your clip here and we want to push this on. I'm going to use my hammer here to go ahead and lock that into place. Use a wrench again, snug that down. Go ahead and bring this flex hose up and over. I'm not going to put the bolt in there yet. We'll be able to adjust that later on, but you do want to make sure that you have this in position. I'm going to take your banjo bolt, install a new copper washer. I'm going to feed this through. Put another copper washer on the other side. Go ahead and position that. Go ahead and get your bolt lined up. And once you have that started, I'm going to grab my impact gun and I'm just going to snug that down. I'm going to bring our hose over and install the bolt onto the strut bracket. Get that started and we'll go ahead and snug that down. Now I'm going to go ahead and use some spray solvent on both connections here. Wipe up any residual brake fluid that might be on our connections. Torque down the banjo bolt to 13 foot-pounds. Now at this point here, we want to go ahead and perform a gravity bleed on your brakes. So if you have the rubber cap here on your bleeder screw, go ahead and remove that. If you don't have that there, it's not critical to the operation of the brakes. Use your 10mm box wrench. Turn that counterclockwise, and you want to purge out any air. You can see air bubbles coming out. And we want a steady stream of brake fluid coming out after all of this air is purged. Sometimes flexing that hose will get that to burp a little bit. All right, we have a steady stream of fluid coming out now. No more air bubbles that are visually evident. Let's go ahead and snug that down. Make sure it's good and snug. Give it a spray with some spray solvent. Get rid of any of that residual brake fluid that's dribbled out here. Give it a good wipe. And we're going to install our bleeder cap. Now at this point here, you want to go ahead and repeat this process for the other side if needed. You want to hop into the vehicle, pump up the brakes until that brake pedal is firm. It could be 3 to 5 presses on that brake pedal for that brake pedal to firm up. Now for some reason, if the brake pedal feels soft and spongy after you do this, try it one more time. If it still feels soft and spongy, you want to go ahead and proceed to the vehicle brake bleeding procedure for the entire vehicle. Go ahead and take your wheel. Get that lined up on the studs. Ideally, you want to go ahead and get all of the lug nuts started by hand first, and then we'll come on back and snug them down. We just want to gently snug these. Do this in a crisscross or star pattern. Now let's go ahead and torque them. You want to get and torque down your lug nuts to 88 foot-pounds. Ideally, you want to do this in a crisscross or star pattern. And you're all set. I'm going to go ahead and spray the top of our reservoir and clean up any of the debris that's sitting on the top with the dirt. Spray it. Go ahead and clean up around here using a little bristle brush if you have one. And open up the reservoir cap, Set that aside. Now inside, there's a little filter or a screen. I'm going to use my needle nose pliers. I'm going to press it down, and be careful, you don't want to puncture the screen that's in there. But I'm going to press this down, open it up, and I'm going to pull that cap out, or the screen. There it is. Set that aside. You will want to go ahead and clean this. You're going to use some spray solvent to clean that and set that aside. Now we're going to use a little container here, and I'm going to use this tool here to go down inside and vacuum out as much of that brake fluid as possible. It is a very small port that's in there, or access, and I'm not getting much out, but ideally what you want to do is take out as much of that brake fluid as possible. After you've cleaned out your screen here, you can drop that down inside, press that down. Now at this point here, we can go ahead and top off the master cylinder with some fresh brake fluid. And then we're going to install our cap. Our brake bleed procedure starts at the right rear. Next is the left rear, followed by the right front, and ending with the left front. Now starting at the right rear here, what we're going to do is we're going to use our reservoir here to capture the fluid as it comes out. Now we have someone inside the vehicle that's going to assist us in pumping up the brakes while we do this job. They're going to inform me, they're going to pump, 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 hold. Then we're going to open up the bleeder screw and purge out any air and dirty fluid that's in the system here. And we're going to continue this procedure for all 4 wheels. You may have a rubber cap here on your bleeder screw. If not, it's not that critical, but it's nice to have one. I'm going to use a 10mm wrench. And what we're going to do is we're going to just break this free just to set this up. All right, so it's, you can go ahead and loosen this. I'm going to get my hose set up on this. Okay, if you go ahead and pump that up. I'm going to open this. That's at the floor. Close it. Go ahead and pump it up. While they're holding pressure, you open up the line. They let me know it's on the floor, and then we close it. You don't want to pump it while we have this open. Go ahead again. And one more time. Actually, we're getting a good amount of air out of this one here. We're going to continue to do this until we get rid of that air here. Go ahead. Perfect. So we're all set on this one here. I'm going to snug down that bleeder screw. Purge out any of that fluid there. I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick spray with some spray solvent. Clean up any of that residual brake fluid that might be here. Put our cap on. Now I want to go ahead and proceed to the left rear. I want to open up the cap. I want to top off the master. Now there is a max line on the side here. You want to go ahead and fill up the reservoir too. You're going to use the appropriate brake fluid that's recommended for this vehicle according to the reservoir lid. On the right front, we're going to continue this procedure. Remove the rubber cap. Okay, pump it up. Pump it up. And one more time. Okay, no air bubbles and clean fluid. Let's go ahead and wrap it up with the left front. Let's go ahead and top this off right to that max line. put the cap on. Now that we're done bleeding the brakes, you want to go ahead and hop into the vehicle, pump up the brakes, make sure that they feel good. For some reason, if they feel soft and spongy, go ahead and repeat this process one more time. At that point there, you want to go ahead and put your wheels on, torque down the lug nuts to 88 foot-pounds, and then take the vehicle for a road test.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.